Hello everyone, my name is Abdul Rahman Al-Humaid. I'm a student at ALS School. So today I'm happy because I found my friend Alex. Actually I have a lot of questions for him because my homework. Alex, please tell me about the time that you experienced a life change event. How did this change you most?
I have an uncle, or I had an uncle who had pancreatic cancer, which is cancer in the pancreas, and that is an organ that sits behind your stomach and sits right below your lungs. He had cancer there, but he didn't find out until very later on. So he didn't find out about his cancer until he already had it, and it was already very deadly. So that was very traumatic. It was very heartbreaking for me because getting news about your uncle, knowing that he's not going to live very much longer.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, not knowing that he's going to live very much longer, is shocking, and it'd be shocking to anybody. So for me, that was very life changing. But um, throughout the whole process, it changed me a lot because it taught me that I need to cherish life a little bit more. You never know what's going to be thrown at you in any way. You never know what life is going to bring you, and you may not be here 5 minutes later or 9 months later. In his case, he passed away within 9 months of having his cancer, and it was very hard on my family. It was very hard on all of us, and so it wasn't very fun to go through. But once he passed away, I kind of found myself, to do something that I could do in honor of him, do something that I know he'd be proud of. And so I went out and joined a pancreatic cancer group, and they raise money and they do walks and runs and all types of different events where they can raise money. Me and my Aunt Kate, we actually organized the very first Purple Stride, which is the name of the walk they have here in Indy, in honor of pancreatic cancer. We actually did organize the very first one, and we raised about $150,000 on our very first event, which is great, which is big. That's a lot of money, and 100% of that money went to research into pancreatic cancer because pancreatic cancer is the most severely under-researched cancers out there. So there's not a lot of doctors that are interested in finding out about it. There's not a lot of doctors that really find, I guess, I don't want to say they don't find it interesting, but they just don't really have the necessary money to do the research on it. So it's very hard for doctors to want to get into it because they don't have the money to do it. So there's a lot of things that did change my life. And Uncle Mike is he's high up above us, and I know he's looking down on me very proudly. So yeah.
That changed your life, and
Mm-hmm.
sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. And it's anybody who's dealing with cancer. I think it taught me to kind of like also be close with them or kind of understand where they're coming from
Mm-hmm.
because that's the first time I'd ever been affected by cancer. My grandpa Denny actually had breast cancer, but it was so small it didn't really affect him in a way, and he was able to have surgery to remove it. Um, and I had many friends who have had, parents, grandparents, uncles and aunts, such in my case, who had cancer, but I was never able to kind of feel what they felt. So once I kind of got the idea of what my uncle Mike had and what I had to experience, I could kind of relate to them and say, oh wow, that is a big deal, and that's not something cool to go through, and it's it's scary to even think that someone like us could go through that as well.
Yeah, actually, it's what about that again, and it's something that change your life.
Right. Yeah. It's not fun, and especially seeing a loved one hurt. Seeing a loved one who knows that they aren't going to be here much longer, and you kind of put yourself in that perspective too. You could ask yourself, wow, could I live and think, I only have 5 months to live. Could you tell yourself that, or could someone else tell yourself that? So that's the hard part is thinking about that and knowing that you only have this much time to live.
Yeah.
I think that's the most difficult part.
Yeah. Thank you, actually, Alex,
Yeah.
and sorry again for changing. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for that.
Thank you.